Hey, what's going on the YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. So I'm back here again for another review for The Originals, Season 4, Episode 5. The name of this one is I Hear You Knocking. I gotta say, man, this show is very good. Like, it's weird because I run this fine line. Even when you check out my reaction, which will be posted up, I'll talk about that a little bit later. Like, there's moments where it's very demonic, very witchcrafty, incantations, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a believer, and I'm not about the witchcraft. I didn't even like that during the Harry Potter films. I didn't like that with the Lord of the Rings films. I very much so muted most of those incantations. Same thing with Vampire Diaries. I hate that part of the show, but everything else, from the characterization to the evolution of the characters to the metamorphosis of Klaus Michelson in and of itself, and, which I didn't realize, Elijah. Like, I've looked at from the originals and even from Vampire Diaries to see where, where Elijah was to how he is now. Even though he has Hayley, he has, everybody else's respect and love. Like, he has a darkness in him that very much so is reminiscent of his dad. And I didn't even think about that aspect about him until I was sitting there watching some of the things that Klaus had to go through with his dad, the conversation that happened, and then just the conversation that was had with, Marcel and Elijah at the very end. I was like, Marcel would have been dead all over again if it was Elijah's choice. He doesn't care. He understands that Klaus has changed, that he's changed for the better, but he's gotten actually worse. And I said this a long time ago, like, Elijah's got a beast in him that, if this whole entity actually tried to tap to him, it'd be a bad day. It would actually be a really bad day. I remember when, who was it that brought back all these dark memories about who he used to be and he couldn't control himself? I was like, dang. It's kind of like Stefan to Damon kind of situation. That's exactly what it is. But it's very interesting because it's an evolution of these characters. And then what Klaus had to go through, I was just like, dang. Every single time like he was getting talked to his dad, even with the Fred situation, I was like, it's not real, it's not real. And then with him and Marcel and their fight, and like it's I don't know, man. It's amazing to actually really watch because Klaus really could have killed him. And he had every reason to. Like, I mean, other than the fact of, this entity would have got brought back into the world through this situation, is very interesting, man. I don't know what's going to end up happening, but The Originals is actually a legit show. Even with Freya and, the girl that was the doctor / werewolf, their relationship is definitely going to blossom. I can see it's really natural. Reminded me of Josh and, what's that guy, Aiden. Curious to see what the other originals are. I'm curious to see what is the capability of Hope. What is she truly capable of? Why did Hayley even put the bracelet around her, to dampen her power? Because now that it's off, like, what happens from here? And the fact that Hope saw everything before it actually happened, what was wrong with her dad, and she not be afraid of her dad. There was no indirect conversation with her and him being like, Dad, stay away from me. She was trying to get him to stay with her. It's really interesting. With Hayley, though, her backstory is very interesting. Like, her whole, pack and what happened with her dad and mom, and then even with the Lady Mary. It's just these characters are so deep, and they have rich history that allows this show to be able to progress as far as they really want to, because there's so much you don't know from thousands of years, between these characters. It's like, I think that with the Vampire, they have a disadvantage of about, 150 to 200 years? Catherine's maybe like 500, maybe less than that. So it wasn't but so much you could see. But with these characters, they've been and seen and done anything and everything. And it's like, to see who they are now is just very interesting. But the thing that is really interesting to me is, where's Vincent? What happened to Vincent? What is he doing? I really feel like Vincent is actually like all surrounded all of this. I think that when Marcel became put into power, that Vincent and even this chick with Marcel, and then just everything is going full circle. And because of like the power shift, it's like things have just changed. It really has changed. But I think that the answer is going to be Hope, because Hope is an evolution of everything. She is part werewolf. She is part vampire race. She's part witch. It's like, I think that the answer is really going to be surrounded with her. She's going to have to be the thing that keeps the balance of everything. So I just don't know what's going to happen, but I don't know. This entity that's force or whatever, that's the enemy, the threat, is very real, because for Marcel and, Klaus to kind of be taken over like that, it's like, what is next kind of thing. And did Freya get infected? Will Elijah get infected? What will really happen is up in the air. So for me, this episode, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I actually liked it more than the last episode, which I didn't think I would, just because of the conversation and the dialogue between Marcel, Elijah, and Klaus. Like, those three men, like, there's so much history there. And I think that it's really amazing and captivating to actually watch them evolve throughout the entire show. But anyway, keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Talk to you guys later. Peace. Oh, one more thing. If you go and check out the reaction for, the originals, I have the whole entire reaction that's completely been recorded. It's on the Google Drive. It'll be in the link in the description bar below for that video. Please leave a like, because you guys, to be quite honest with you, there's not been as many of you guys actually watching those. Like, when I used to do it through like the 16-minute or 15-minute or 10-minute, kind of chopped up, you guys like flock to that a lot more. But it's like, for me personally, especially being married now, it's so much more easier just to give you guys a full plate. Here everything is, enjoy it in its entirety. But not many of you guys have actually been watching it, unfortunately. So I don't want to go back to it, but if you can really just kind of help me out with that, that'd be really gracious. And if not, within, I guess I'll give it a month. If it doesn't change within a month, then I have to go back to it. It's the problem is going to be is that I'd have to wait maybe a week or maybe days after the show come out before I can actually post a reaction, because it takes so much time to actually do the chopping board with all of it. But anyway, keep it locked. JVS, I'm going to stop. Just want to give you that quick update. Peace, guys.